Yo. What's going down, Queens and Kings? Y'all already know what's going on this time of the Quiet Storm hours. It is 8:37 on this nice Saturday evening, and if you are tuning in for the first time, welcome to The Vibes, a new wave. Deanna, what's poppin'?
What's good, y'all? I just sat down. I just finished cooking. I made our co-host and my lover boy some steaks.
And it's greasy.
It is not greasy. I do not make my food greasy.
No, it ain't.
Nah, he not even eating it yet. His stuff is put up, so I don't know what he talking about. It's greasy.
Look, I don't want to be disrespectful to the audience and then, be smacking on some good food. So I got these gummy bears instead. So.
And what's so messed up, y'all, because I don't eat beef, so I made myself a side of chicken. So I have everything. I got the potatoes and the beans and the green beans and everything too, but I got chicken on the side of mine.
Good man, health is wealth.
It is though.
But look, Queens and Kings. So thank you for tuning in to this great podcast, this great episode of the evening. And y'all already know, if y'all was tuning in to the last episode, these gummy bears are so juicy, so don't mind the excess smacking in the background. Just let y'all know these things busting. Go ahead to the corner store real quick.
Wait. Which one's your favorite?
Oh, I like the pineapples.
That's the white one, right?
That's the clear one.
Yeah, clear. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Them pineapples be smacking.
They
for sure.
stingy with those, though. They don't give you like my trio is the green ones, the red ones, and the clear ones. And you'll find a boatload of red, a boatload of green, but they are stingy as hell.
That's how the Chinese folk do with their shrimp fried rice. They put about 6 or 7 in them things. You be like, dog, why y'all rationing, bro? Like, what?
No, you didn't.
Damn, nah, I love shrimp fried rice though.
No, you didn't. Say all that shit. Yeah, I don't condone that. I don't know what the fuck.
Look, damn.
This nigga said ration. I can't. You stupid.
Nah, but if y'all been watching or listening to the last couple episodes, we like to start off the show now with check-in. So come down to the comment section below on our YouTube channel and check in with us. Let us know how y'all been doing as we go on with this episode. But this episode is our third episode to the 3-part series we got going on, the evolution of Tyler the Creator, and this will be our album review. The album of choice will be Cherry Bomb. We'll get to that on the next section. You feel me? But look, I don't have no positive. Like, Deanna, you got any positive thing to say to give a little taste on this album?
It was a great insert of evolution.
You know what? That's positive. That's real positive. I'm proud. I'm more real. Okay, look, if I want to be positive, his name is Tyler the Creator, y'all.
Yeah. And every artist has to grow.
You feel me? And he was just creating, and that part. So back to the check-in. Deanna, how you feeling? What's going down?
I'm okay. I've been still, getting back on my footing for my mental health, but I'm definitely in a better headspace, I would say. How about you?
I'm great. I'm blessed, black, and highly favored. So we're gonna keep it up to the Most High.
I'm blessed, black,
feel
and
me?
highly favored.
Look, if you feel me, give me a standing ovation. They got
Why? I'm sorry. Side fucking bar. Why when you did that, I thought about Scary Movie too. He was like, let me give you a hand. Why don't you give me a standing ovation?
The fact that we was just watching that, and I was like, damn, I know this coming. I know that part is coming.
No, to this day, my favorite part, and I'm gonna let this shit go. Polly want a cracker? Polly wants your mama's sweet ass. Oh shit, that was funny.
I was questioning that bird the whole movie yesterday because as you get older and like you start to see movies in a different way as time goes on, I was like, bro, to really think about those birds that mimic everything they hear, the recorder birds, it's like you got to question the home.
For real. bro.
You gotta be like, damn, dog. See, your bird getting this shit from you. So what the hell wrong with you that you just got going on in this house?
That this bird is mimicking
You
this shit.
feel me?
Like,
That disrespectful
at the
ass
end of the day,
bird,
they
man.
copied. I had one bird that used to get on my fucking nerves. His name was Gumbo.
Damn.
Got on my nerves. It was one of my minister's damn bird. He was so proud of that stupid ass bird. I mean,
Not the Pastor Bird.
man, shoot, his name was Bling Bling, so that should say something.
Pastor Bling Bling.
Pastor Bling Bling.
I am not giving no offering to no Pastor Bling Bling.
He had a gold tooth, and he was one of them annoying pastors that would get on the mic and do that heavy breath. And I don't and I was like, get this nigga the asthma pump.
Oh no.
And I said, preacher. Let me stop, y'all.
No, man.
Nah, but yeah, them birds, you definitely do got a question on them because that's who they learn it from. That's where they pick it up from. And it's so funny.
Facts. So you sure you got some news for us today, huh? With the VMAs that just passed?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to know what your thoughts was on it, but you said you didn't have a chance to check it out.
What happened?
But, well, Chloe Bailey.
Yeah, I know.
She
okay, I
debuted
seen
for
that
her
one.
solo debut.
I seen that one.
And I was like, good for her. And the song is a bop. The song is an absolute bop. Who else? Of course, Doja Cat hosted and as well as performed.
There's I could go off that. Doja Cat and SZA got the award for Best Female Collaboration, right?
I think so. I didn't really watch the awards.
There was a couple videos viraling around saying how Doja didn't even give SZA the space opportunity to accept or acknowledge the win. Like every time she felt, I guess from the camera angle, it felt like SZA wanted to come through on the mic and say a little 2 cents or something, but Doja was just right there, like not even giving space, and they was like, "Look how rude that is." No, actually, I think they said SZA grandpa or dad or something said something like that, and I was like, okay.
I feel like that's a reach.
I ain't see no problem with it.
Neither did I.
Like,
I mean, I didn't really watch the award thing. I think I did see whatever clip. I think really honestly, the clip that I saw when she was like, "I'm accepting an award and I look like a worm." That's the only thing I remember.
That was the scene. No, that was the whole clip. But I guess
I think they reach in because at the same time, SZA's not a very, or at least she does not perceive herself to be a very assertive personality.
That's what I was saying
I don't
too.
see
Like, you don't really see her like.
I don't think she's ever gone up to like a stage and been as like active.
Besides just singing,
performance.
And that's it. Like, I feel like she'll do some Erykah Badu stuff, like really speak with the audience while she on stage.
Yeah.
But not on the outside to a third person.
I don't feel like she's I'm not saying that she probably doesn't have the capabilities to do so, but if I had to see who was going to host the VMAs between SZA and Doja, I would believe Doja has the personality to do it, as opposed to SZA.
Right.
Nah, I think that's a reach. I feel like that's a whole reach. But, people will come up with anything to make something talk. And then if a family member says something, you just gave them all type of fire to go towards it.
Man, I know we passed due these little topics that I'm about to bring up, but Certified Lover Boy and Donda, Kanye West versus Drake.
I did not really have any interest in listening to neither projects, so I have not. I have not heard not one song from the Donda. I just remember the clip going around where everybody was so excited to hear Jay-Z on one of his records.
See, I pulled legitly 4 tracks off Donda, and respectfully, it's not my type of album. And I feel like if I'm pulling 4 tracks off a 27 album rip, then
it's 27 songs,
27 tracks, an hour and 42 minutes.
Oh no!
Oh yeah. And I trashed the album at first. I listened to it twice.
The whole thing?
Yeah. And yeah, I got time.
I said, not me. I'd rather read a manga first.
No, but I did it on multiple perspectives. I was thinking about it like, what type of line of work I want to put myself in the future, and knowing that I have to listen to these things in order to talk about these things to multiple people. I listened to it the first time and I was like, damn, bro, this shit trash. Like, and then going through Genius.com, which I always will consider to be one of my sources, you were seeing people on the album that you were expecting to hear. Like, number one, our artist of this series, he was supposed to be on there.
Yeah.
And his whole verse was just non-existent. But he wasn't one of the many that came back on Instagram like, Kanye, you a hoe ass nigga. Like,
who came back and did that?
Soulja Boy, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown did it?
Yeah, Chris was supposed to be on the...
One thing is, Chris, you could have walked around. You could have walked away from that silently. Like, Soulja Boy, I could see him being a baby about it.
But then again, somebody said this as well, and I think it was Soulja. He said Kanye really just stealing people's shit now. Because how you gonna come to us and really humble us on the fact of you want us to be on this album? We work on this shit. We on the track list. You probably kept a little ad lib or something, just a little mini ad lib of us, and you like, they go to feature. But also, you taking our verses, you really keeping our shit for ransom, and it's like, bruh, you stealing my shit now.
Well, see, that makes sense.
So you understand why, and then it's like he picked and choose who he wanted to be on the album, and it could be one artist on there, 2 songs, and he has 2 versions of certain tracks off there, and I'm just like, bro, this shit. But here's his excuse. His excuse was to come back on Instagram or Twitter or somewhere talking about my label released my album without my permission.
Bullshit.
Did you feel me? Come on, now that gotta be
nigga,
the
you
weakest.
own good music.
That's the weakest excuse I ever heard.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
So when your shit not really popping, or
blame it on the label.
You're blaming on the label.
Bullshit.
But his album came up to be number 1 in the Billboards, and I want to say why that is. That's not even out of anticipation. That's out of curiosity.
It's just people streaming to see what the fuck
That's
this is. What the fuck is this shit that everybody's talking about? You taking them off with 27 fucking tracks. How long has it been since his last album? Coming back after having your episodes and just being extra.
I'll say 2000.
Was it 19?
One of them things. That was the album with his choir on there too.
Yeah, I want to say it was like had like the forest background on the album cover or something.
It was a blue.
Yeah.
Jesus is King, 2019.
Yeah, 19. So it's been like almost 2 years. So people want to see what the fuck you've been working on in between having random yelling episodes. And...
I want to say what's much appreciated about this album more so is the rollouts. It's the promo. Because he sold out 3 arenas. And I want to say that was like, he came off of millions just with them arenas alone.
The thing that helps him at least stay is simply the cult following.
You think it's a cult?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think I heard somebody mention that as well, because with everybody that he had featured on the album, or anybody that came to the arenas that he was at, he made them legitly change clothes.
Yeah.
Like, wear this, wear that, wear this, and like, that is cultish.
I mean, he controls what Kim wears.
Hell no. So you think she went to the VM? Nah, the
she
Met
was at the
Gala
Met.
Wearing that shit.
All wrapped out. And his butt was wrapped. Hell yeah, that's Kanye. The way Kim style is that beautiful ass brown fucking.
And she liked to show skin.
She liked to show skin. She's a very daring and eccentric person in her own way. Him, it's
He like to hide himself, and that's
like,
attention.
He's a weird monk.
That's all attention though, because the things Kanye doing, that's a different level of attention. Because bro, you was getting that when you was old Kanye, but now you going that extra mile, like
he trying to be completely out of like left field.
Oh man, there was an album. No, there was a track that was supposed to be on Donda that featured Andre 3000.
I think you mentioned about how he brought him in some drama, or brought his name up in some drama.
No, he was on there. He had a whole verse, and that verse somebody compared it. Fabulous. He compared Andre 3000 to be that one artist that resembles Bob Ross. It's like his lyricism is like watching Bob Ross
make mistakes.
Man,
a little bush right here.
No, yeah. it's the story behind the mirror though.
Yeah,
and that's his line of work. And he was speaking to Kanye's mother, Miss Donda, but asking her like, can you ask my mama these questions while you up there? Can you ask my daddy these questions while you up there? The verse was so beautiful. But then Kanye verse right after that, this nigga brought his Drake beef into this powerful song and just went off the scale. Ruined the whole damn track.
Ruined it.
That's why it wasn't on the damn album though, because I was like, bro.
I mean,
he probably could have had a great album out of that. I'm just saying. It's like,
especially, people probably would have been super excited to hear from Andre.
Facts.
It's been a while.
And then he dropped on Instagram, or wherever he dropped his source of news. He was saying how he quote unquote hates how both of his favorite artists are going at it right now, and he hate that this track was leaked the way it was. But I would really like to come back into the industry. I would really like to work with this person, like a Kendrick Lamar, like a J. Cole. He was naming relevant people out there as well.
He would like to work with.
Exactly. So I was like, bruh, that is a foul way. But guess who leaked it though?
Wasn't it Kanye?
Nuh-uh. Drake leaked the track.
How did Drake get it? Did Kanye send it to him like, look what I said about you?
I don't know. I feel like that hasn't been revealed yet. But like, yeah, Drake was the one to release the track with.
Wait, how do they know that he leaked it?
He dropped it on his Apple Radio, on his OVO radio.
Oh.
Yeah, the petty. But hold on. There's a defense to that. Like, I would accept that than somebody posting my address to the whole world. Kanye posted Drake's address on Twitter.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then deleted it like a couple minutes later.
I mean, but we talking about the man who not only a couple years later, earlier, with him and what's that real name? Pusha
T
was doing that. Oh my God.
Rap beef.
It chipped away so much respect.
From Drake or Pusha?
Pusha.
Yeah.
I lost because I saw him in a light of almost the respect of like where I would put like Kendrick and them, if not higher, because he'd been in the game a lot longer. And then to see him do that, I was like, wow, you are too old to be acting this childish. Like, when he exposed, like, Drake obviously he put his newborn kid out there, like he wasn't ready for that.
That's foul play number one.
They had the blackface thing that they said that they found what Drake did when he was younger. I don't know if that shit was real or not.
It is, but it was for a play, like right. Drake stated.
And at the end he was a child.
But like foul play number 2 was the fact that Pusha brought in somebody that had a fatal illness.
Yes. And shit, to me the disrespectful when they used, and this isn't even on a Drake level, it's when Kanye then was trying to get, I think they used it for Pusha's album cover, allegedly Whitney's bathroom that exposed like drugs or her. Yeah.
That's what that was.
Fuck yeah.
Oh shit.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
I was a fan of that album though. That was like Pusha's first album coming back from that long break that he did. But that was like a great album, but like not even thinking about the beef between them, which was presented on a track on there that I was like, okay, I know who this is addressed to. But other than that, like the music, that's all I'm hearing. It was a great album, but not knowing that's what that picture was. Shit,
that entire thing just was like, it's hard to see you in a different light, Push. Wow, I never thought I'd see you go that low.
Damn.
And I just...
You remember on The Shop when Drake was on there and he was telling that story?
I don't think I watched that one. That was from that first season, right?
Yes.
I didn't get to see that one.
That's a great episode. The reason why I feel like I don't fuck with The Shop like I used to, they so fucking short to me. They need...
that Jay-Z one was good.
Oh, that was
fire.
And then it just shut the fuck off like The Sopranos. I was like, bro, y'all got so much to talk about, dog.
I don't kid you not, they probably ran out of time and cut it and kept talking.
I know they
because
did.
That was a great... Jay-Z was dropping some good ass motherfucking gems. And just to have that nice story of about DMX.
Man, that was the end of it. I feel like they thought about it like, damn, you can't even go on after that. Nah. Can't nobody talk after that, so they were like, "Look, go ahead and just we'll talk."
I bet a lot of people was like us, like,
I was like, "No, don't end this shit."
Man, that shit was good. That was too good.
Nah, but Queens and Kings, we hope y'all been feeling good out there, man. And like, if y'all new to this show, man, welcome to this greatness. You know, we just come through. We vibe. We this is safe. This is safe haven. It's a safe space, and then we also bring in favorable tracks from like recent new tracks, you know, classic tracks, but coming through on a third person opinion, you know, just joking around on them, but also having a deeper meaning to like songs that really hit the soul and everything like that. But a little recap before we dive into this cherry with exclamation marks bomb album from, you know, Tyler the Creator. The past two episodes, from episodes 1 and 2, were us representing the evolution of Tyler the Creator, from how episode 1, Lumberjack, this is new Tyler, and Tyler manifested all the greatness to where he came from. And like, Drew, you wanna go back to that episode, let them know how you felt on that?
Boys pull up, black boy pop out.
That's the power of melanin.
That's the power of melanin and power of manifestation. I even find that even before Cherry Bomb era, he was talking about the things that he wanted to accomplish. But you know, being and knowing, especially during that time of 2009 to 2011, that they were an outcast, especially in like the hip hop community. And
they knew they were weird. They accepted it.
And they just took and created their own lane with it. But I remember there's many interviews where you can hear Tyler manifest or state what he's going to accomplish.
The interviews are so misleading because you're seeing Tyler's personality as you would on a Loiter Squad,
right?
Or,
because he's a very how can we put it?
I feel like it's like a wild card.
He's a wild card, but he takes the room. He commands the room.
He do. And then it's like he has that switch to where when he want to be settled and really give you that passionate answer or that conscious
very
answer.
Self-aware.
He is
very self-aware and very thorough of self. He's very aware of his own tendencies and the stuff that he said. He makes no excuses.
And I feel like that's his life mission.
Yeah.
His life mission, which I feel like if we coming off of the Donda cult thing, if I wanted to be a part of a cult, it would be our future, because
hell yeah.
I mean,
technically I was / am still.
I take it with all the life that it gives, just because I'm so into this newfound finding myself and like really expressing my goofiness and really just I'm comfortable with it now. So it's like if you rock with it, you rock with it. But if you don't, I got an odd future, my G. So it's like,
dude, bye.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was complete loner, and I was content with my self-isolation. I grew to love time spent with self. I had no choice, so I had to. But it was something so comforting. I'm like, okay, yeah, nobody else gotta fucking like me, but I know if I turn on Adult Swim, I like cheese. I like cheese. I like cheese. I like cheese. I was like, okay, yeah, there's it showed you. Like people really don't realize how much representation matters.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, no, they didn't have a black girl, but it was enough for me to see black people. Well, you didn't see Sid often,
but she was still there. She was still a representation of our future, like wherever she went, like even with her group, The Internet.
Yeah. So yeah, she even though it's like she was an extension, but
look, another extension, and then we could go on to recap on the part 2 before we transition to the next section. But Tyler legitly said how I feel is, yes, I started Our Future, but I'm not expecting everybody to stay. I'm expecting everybody to branch off and grow. Yeah. And I was like, bruh, that's that Adam Sandler mentality. And he even carried that on his own terms. So that's what I really fuck with. But elaborating on the next part 2, the old version of Tyler, the Creator, where we came back on She with Mr. Frank Ocean behind the features of that track.
That dark shit.
Look, that's old Tyler for you. Like he said, it was nuance. It was something that he knew. Man, facts. It was the story for me.
Yeah.
You feel me? She was one of them tracks, especially with Frank Ocean vocals again. It was like that was a match. It was a combination you would have never thought you needed. But that's a hard feature for you. You feel me? If you fuck with it,
they show you layers.
Yeah, major. Especially it's like standing the test of times. It's basically like shock the world, but then as time go on, shock the world. Like let them know in the beginning, that's what put me on. But where I'm at now, like you said,
respect the
Tyler
underdog.
got it. Oh yeah,
respect the underdog always.
Y'all gonna know me.
Because if y'all want to sit there and think that this is all I'm capable of, please.
But check this out, Queens and Kings. While we transition over to our next section, this is a special episode. This is not your normal track pull episode. This is an album review episode. So we're going to just let you know what we thought about this album of choice, Cherry Bomb by Tyler, the Creator. And if I had to recommend you one little track to listen off of, which will fit the vibes of the Quiet Storm evening, go over and find, quote unquote, Find Your Wings, which has Sid the Kid, Kali Uchis, and Tyler, the Creator. It is a smooth track, mellow.
Honestly, I would say that was a good foreshadowing into what more he was capable of during that time.
Facts. I feel like to put a little bit, before we'll elaborate more on this on the next section, but I want to say on a more positive note for Cherry Bomb, it was a whole lot of manifestation for what we got on Flower Boy and Igor.
Facts.
So, YouTube fans, there will be a link to Find Your Wings on the description below. Spotify, you already know how we rocking. You will hear the track as soon as the intermission starts. So you already know how. I was trying to be smooth with it.
Can you reach it?
Look, tripping over my own notes. I ain't got no notes. It's all free play. But we'll see you next reel.
Over them gummy bears, what you tripping on?
Hey, they smacking on.
Welcome back, Kings and Queens. We are about to kick off this second section of our wonderful podcast. You ready to talk about Cherry Bomb.
Let's talk about this bomb, y'all. Let's talk about this bomb, y'all. So let's give a little backstory, like we said literally a couple seconds ago before we pressed the record button. But how did this album become our album of choice for our first 3-part series?
Well, we know the albums of Tyler's that we naturally gravitated towards, and the one thing we both came to terms with is neither one of us really gave Cherry Bomb a chance, so we decided to revisit a piece of the work.
And look, y'all, I feel like
evolution.
With those albums too, it's like everybody went towards the Goblin, the Wolf
and
Flower Boy, Igor.
I feel like they got more attention.
Always, but just because like you knew what was happening, like I feel like not being a puppet, but it was always same pattern. Like you expected that.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Cherry Bomb dropped. Like legitly that middle album, because you got Goblin. No, you got Bastard, Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb. But then here go
Flower Boy comes and knocks it out.
You feel me?
It knocks it because that was the Grammy nom.
And then Igor.
And that was the Grammy win. And now you got Call Me Whenever You're Lost, which has got him on a whole nother level of mainstream.
Big mainstream. I'm talking about mixtape. That's mixtape level, because like I said, DJ Drama worked Resign's mixtape to me. It will always be a mixtape. But
I say it's like, and the reason I say it gives him the most mainstream levels because even with Flower Boy, they gave him a Grammy nom.
Yeah.
And even with Igor, they gave him a Grammy win. This was his first release that gave him an actual performance on BET, and it's baby been out since 2009.
And I want to add this on there too. This is where I feel like Kendrick also earned his stripes, because Kendrick dropped plenty hits, but once he got to How to Pimp a Butterfly, after that album, he had the leverage to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Facts. And
with Tyler the Creator, after winning that Grammy of Igor, he is at that element to where he can do whatever the fuck he wants. So now everything is this is a playground to him. He put his people on. They took off. They skyrocket. They repping Odd Future.
He continues to invest in all of his stuff, which if some people didn't know, Tyler been expanding his brand since the beginning.
Facts. And
the golf brand.
That's why you really got to put respect on his name. He is Tyler the Creator.
Ahead of his game.
Big shit. But look, Tyler, we're giving you your flowers. We're giving you your flowers
as he deserves
in the beginning
yes.
Of this bomb. But we about to bomb you, brother, because Cherry Bomb, my dude. Going back to your name, Tyler the Creator, bro. You was being creative on this one. Like, what we gonna do on this is we're gonna separate this. We're gonna chop it up on pros and cons, because legitly, let me go to this track list real quick and let y'all know how many official tracks that I literally pulled off this 14 track album. I pulled damn near 2 songs off this Jones. That's a 2 ELP. That's a mixtape dollar menu teaser for your audience. That shit was whack as hell. Like, come on now. Cherry Bomb. I can only acknowledge the bomb because I like cherries, but like, how you felt about this album?
It was not my favorite. Short and sweet. Now, not to say that it's like it's terrible work. It's not. It is, at the end of the day, it's on brand. It's Tyler. I love the features. I'll say that. I love the track list of the features of people involved. Mm-hmm. Now, it was not my favorite. It was just not my favorite album.
As much as I want to drag this track, I can't even find the curve to, just because looking at his album records before Cherry Bomb, you got Bastard, great. Goblin, amazing. Wolf, that's him really putting his whole team on that album. And then Cherry Bomb was like, it was a trying album, and I can't even get mad at it because he tried. It was something that manifested to be something extraordinary the next albums after. Because if you really looking deep in Cherry Bomb, he came on Twitter and was like, well, apparently I'm getting dragged for this album. It's not being quote unquote as amazing as my past albums, but y'all really fucked with the instrumental. So I'm gonna drop a deluxe version. Here go my normal tracks, but I'm also give y'all the instrumentals of every track, because he know the instrumentals is what was popping.
Right.
The next thing
the production was always on point.
Man,
production's always on point. And like what I said earlier too, with track number 5, when we started seeing like the introduction to Kali Uchis and Sid, I love that during this time he was showing the other layers of himself. Like, I'm not just who y'all see me to be as like this person that's all wild and yelling on a beat.
In the beginning of Bastard, he talked about how he loved music, not just like the metal shit he was on, but like he loved he
likes soul, he likes R&B. Like you even, especially in his work now, you'll hear him put a lot more of it now, especially like once Flower Boy and stuff hit.
You know who I'm surprised who I haven't heard him talk about as much as I feel like he would be the one to talk about her? Amy Winehouse.
You know what?
Because you see Kali Uchis, and
she definitely has the same
resemblance.
She takes from jazz as well. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, he does not. He really doesn't. But I feel like he does listen to her. I feel like he does.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Like in the background in some sense.
I mean, come on, who doesn't like Rehab?
Shay, hey, I know I do.
That's a Grammy winner right
all
there.
Day, all the Black album. That's,
man, Back to Black. That's that.
Back to Blacklist.
Okay.
The little queens and kings, come down to the comment section below on our YouTube channel. You feel me? And elaborate with us. Let us know how you felt about Cherry Bomb, because we are about to get into a portion of this, short episode, just because there's legitimately not an expand that we could do for this episode, because it's normally we would pull tracks, put them into our daily lives playlist. This album, it just was a lackluster. It wasn't just that flavorful. So me myself, which I recommended you one of the tracks off there, I said track 5, Find Your Wings.
I think that's the one we both, if we have to pick, it'll be Find Your Wings.
Yeah, Find Your Wings was just so mellow, and it really misled the whole album. And then my other second track album favorite was Smuckers with Kanye West and Lil Wayne. And I just want to say that's just because of the artist feature at that time. Like, it still carry on. Like, they did their part on the track to me. But other than that, let us know if you rocked with the album, if you didn't. But now,
or what was your favorite album out of his era? Because again, remember, we're talking about the evolution of Tyler, and we just wanted to include this body of work simply because the one thing that we did find is that we found common ground from the early albums to the recent albums, but the one thing we both realized that we didn't touch was Cherry Bomb.
Facts. And that was like legitimately the dead middle smack of his whole career.
It was that his sophomore album?
Looking at it on the Universal level, like we always do. What if that was
that, or would it be Junior?
What if that was like, because you remember how I was resembling, it's basically a 3. That's the meat in the middle of the sandwich, because you got 3 albums: Bastard, Goblin, Wolf, Cherry Bomb. That's the middle.
And now you got Flower Boy,
Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost.
It's legit the middle child.
Exactly. What if that was legitly the transition to I'm getting my Grammy, getting this notoriety?
But it's so funny now. I almost feel like I look at this body of work in another Black Sheep.
That's why I'm saying,
because you got think about it, when we put stuff in forms of like youngest, middle, oldest, you have the youngest, which is what you expect to be a bit more childish, trying and, you know, experimental, which what those first 3 albums were.
Exactly.
And then you have what we see now that we've been
It's
talking
the
about
middle
now, is the
child.
maturity from Flower Boy to Igor and Call Me When You Get Lost, how we see the maturity. And then we got the oddball.
This is that
Cherry
middle
Bomb.
school phase.
Yeah.
This is that I'm finding myself. I'm really stepping into an element I know they're not gonna understand, because he said this was his best. He felt like this was his best album.
Greatest hits.
Yeah, that's how he felt, and you have the whole total right to feel how you feel about
your work.
your
Fuck
work.
yeah.
So on that level, it's like
I see it in a different light now.
you got to.
It's like, because at the end of the day, I didn't hate it. It just was not one of my favorites.
As much as I was saying, I'm ready for this album, I'm ready for this episode, I'm ready to really talk about how I felt about this track. That was in the beginning phases, but like I said, I cannot even turn that curve of being disrespectful, because I'm thinking about it on a level of me. Like, damn, I guess I have been through a phase of this, and I can't just drag this for what it is.
Because at the end of the day, it was a part of the development. That's the main thing that we acknowledged. We knew going into it. It may not have been the album that we gravitated towards, or it may not have been the one that we favored during that time, but we can respect the journey of the artist of going in that era.
And that's the evolution of Tyler, the Creator.
Hell yeah.
You feel me? So that's the series. That's what the series is based on. Like I said, that was like in a whole quick thought of where we were going to where we coming from.
Yeah.
But look, we about to step into the pros and cons of this episode. If we're going to just extend and elaborate on anything, let's do that. Besides on a normal drag track for track. But starting off with, I guess, pros. Still giving acknowledgement to his name, Tyler, the Creator. He was really madly creative on this, and it showed, I want to say, just through the production skills alone, just from him topping a DJ Khaled, in my whole opinion. And that's on lines of not involving hip-hop, but also involving hip-hop in like the pop aspect and the jazzy aspect. And Tyler took hip-hop in multiple branches of directions with this album.
He really showed how multifaceted it is.
Yeah.
And what it can be.
So what would be your pros?
Pros for me, pretty much like I stated previously, I loved that in this middle era, it was a foreshadowing. It was to me, yes, we know, like in some of the early work, you got a peek of the layers of him, but the fact that this was a foreshadowing before Flower Boy, where you got a track such as Number 5, and it really showed us like, oh, you are capable of so much, and you're teasing a lot during this era, but only to drop Flower Boy and really take it home to eventually get that Grammy nom.
See, thinking on that part, that whole evolution, that whole story arc of getting to that point, he came in the game on his own perspective, on his literally no sugarcoating nothing, no mask. This is Tyler, the fucking Creator. And he did that shit, no commercial. He was getting somewhere through followers, through the co-following,
right?
But he wasn't getting nowhere as he manifesting a Grammy. There's
a certain game you gotta play.
Let me put a mask on now, just for that alone.
Yeah.
Let me cater to this audience and get what I want.
See how this works, how this game is played.
He did that shit. He mastered that shit. And now, Flower Boy, we not bringing in here, but I missed it. The Grinch. They picked him up for the Grinch.
They picked him up for
and that's
the
a
new
kid's
edition
movie
of the Grinch. I love that.
So that was in the middle of Flower Boy and Igor. So
it was like smack in the middle of.
He was tiptoeing to that Grammy.
It was around the time of. When did the Grinch come out? When did the new Grinch come out with Benedict Cumberbatch? Well, yes. But I want to know, like, what year?
November 16, 2018.
Okay, so yeah, that
was 2017,
in the middle.
2018, 19.
That was smack dab in the middle between Flower Boy and Igor that he released the
My
Grinch.
boy was creeping
but
on
then,
that
but
Grammy.
see, again, that shows coming from now he's playing more commercial.
He wasn't being the puppet. That nigga was puppeteering them motherfuckers.
He pulled a Frank.
You feel me, dog? That shit. When you do shit like that, people don't have no other choice but to look your way.
Yes. Especially when you own. It's kind of like, even though a lot of people, and I'm just gonna backpack and talk about another artist real quick, just on the business side of it. People could not get past Russ' personality. I can see how his personality would tick people off, so they fail to listen to the things that he is showing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come up to these labels and you have the weight, you have the momentum, they have no choice but to work for you. When you approach them with nothing, they have the power, they have the momentum. Tyler been in this shit since 2009. So you mean to tell me, yes, he had all the motherfucking momentum to annoy. So even if he wanted to play the field, or if he didn't want to play the field, he has every fucking right to.
But look, I want to say also giving big ups to the higher ups above him that really trusted his work. Like for seeing them white boys at the Grammys with him.
When he said, "Thank you for trusting my crazy off the wall vision."
For the first time, I'm seeing that, but I'm like, I'm looking at our culture in a different way now.
Mm.
And I love our culture. I love us. But I also look at us like, man, we could have did better. Somebody along our culture, he loved, Tyler fuck with us.
He do.
He fuck with BET. But for somebody,
they didn't fuck with him.
They didn't. And for the white boys to be like, we love this. We're going to help
support this. We're going to push this. Where he didn't have back then. No, Tyler did not have that backing. Tyler was what I felt still, even though I still have representation. He was the boy on the
bench that you don't choose for the basketball game.
He was me. He was, yes, that's a black girl. Yes, you see all them. But nah, Drew's weird. She likes metal music. She likes alternative stuff. She likes white people stuff. And that's the same thing they did with Tyler. And even though he was still doing things in hip hop, it wasn't to the level of hip hop that they wanted. And there's a lot of artists I feel like has gotten and still continues to get that type of treatment, because you have Tyler, fully black, just does things differently, not accepted,
but he's not black enough.
You have another artist who, so sad to me, was bullied to him. I felt he was bullied to the point that he stopped. Logic. You have someone who is half black. Now, granted, he's white passing. He doesn't look black, but Logic is black. And they bullied the hell out of him to the point that he retired. That was bullshit. I have not once ever seen Logic be invited to the fucking BET Awards.
Yeah. But other than that, be featured on like hip hop features and shit.
They will grab him for a feature, because the one thing they could not fucking say is that Logic couldn't fucking rap. Ooh. And Logic has switched the fuck up.
Look.
And see again, Logic was another part of the community, but he's nerdy. He likes weird stuff. He likes comic books. He likes different, stuff that people don't deem as gangster enough.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gangster enough. You're not none of this. So people like Tyler and people like Logic, and there's another artist I'm thinking of that I felt got nudged a bit. I feel like Joyner Lucas gets nudged a little bit. They try to treat him like Logic, because I believe he's also biracial. But of course he looks more black.
Yeah.
But I think they try to get him based off his subject matter, the things that he chooses to talk about. Like, because he has one about suicide prevention. He had one about wearing your seatbelt, like while you're driving and stuff like that. And people, people who don't feel like it's gangster enough, or that it's not black enough, or it's not representing the type of agenda that they want you to push, they're not going to.
Because we used to a certain label.
Yeah.
We are born into a specific label, It's the nigga with an attitude mindset.
But
it's always the hip hop attitude
now,
mindset.
Granted, but you know what? Granted, his ego has gotten over his motherfucking head. Personally, to me, I'm really trying to think. But to me, the first nerdy rappers that come to my mind
Pharrell
is Pharrell, early Kanye, Lupe Fiasco, and Kid Cudi.
Hell yeah.
They are nerdy rappers to me. I mean, yeah, you got Childish Gambino, but he came a little later.
But that was still aimed toward a different audience.
It is.
You still had...
It was more of a blend.
Yeah.
He had a very big... But again, he came later. I'm trying to focus on like people who I felt had that aesthetic, or at least Black Eyed Peas, will.i.am and them. So you have people like that.
A prime example, will.i.am, goddamn prime example.
That was, if that ain't a full nerd
I'm talking
rapper,
about white boy down to the socks.
Pump it,
man, louder,
pump it.
You wasn't bumping that in the hood. If you was bumping that in the hood, then will.i.am
was getting your ass beat.
Man,
you was getting teased.
Turn that bullshit off, nigga.
You was getting beat. Like, people was teasing you. But yeah, like you had those early blueprints. And to see that even still with the early blueprint of those, it still showed that unless you have, which you have to, once you cast a wider net, you're able to get accepted, which is why Tyler and Logic has such a blended fan base, because the black alone wouldn't give them a platform to stand on.
And I feel like if somebody like Logic or any other artist that was going through that problem like that, to where it make you want to retire your craft, retire out your passion, is something as simple as what we're talking about, that they're going to run across soon. And be like,
why didn't y'all accept Logic at that time? Because Logic was, my favorite song. I love working out to that damn song. And he talking shit on that damn song. I was like, y'all scared. I was like, that's the problem. Y'all motherfuckers scared that this nerd is talking shit. It was I Am the Greatest. From the production to the when he switches up the flow, makes me feel like a badass. Like, cause you got like this. I'm gonna show it to you during like the break, but it's kind of like you got the riff where it's like, I am the greatest. It's like, I want the car. It's like, I want what's there. It's like you hear like a Muhammad in the back, and then you got Logic up, and the motherfuckers get no love. Motherfuckers get nothing from me. I was like, but I think honestly it's an intimidation, and the only way that they felt that they could pull leverage is because they wasn't catering to the aesthetic, the image, like you said, that people were so used to, so they were easily counted out, which I find is very, very fucked up. I mean, yes, their audience still found them, but to say that these are people from the culture and had no support, I felt.
Yeah, that was foul.
Fucking foul.
That was foul. But check this, Queens and Kings. If y'all want to check out an extension to that topic of discussion, go over to The Evolution of Tyler, the Creator, Part 2,
please,
where we discuss what is black. You feel me?
Yeah, what's not black, man? I was told that all my you ain't black, man. You ain't, and Lord, don't let them see my grandma.
Exactly.
You ain't black, man. I'm like, get the fuck with me.
But look, so Deanna, what's some cons coming to this album? What's some negatives?
The negatives. It's really hard to say, like, necessarily if there's actually a negative, because again, I don't hate the work.
Now that you're looking at it through a different light. I want to throw one out though. There's a song on here. There's several songs on here that I really wanted to jam to. Mm-hmm. Because as I was reading the lyrics before I listened to the song, I was like, damn, I really want to hear this. I'm listening to it. You can hear more so the instruments, less voice. Like he didn't turn the voice treble down, and then I was like, all you hear is me in the background trying to at least sound like I'm close to the mic, but you can't hear me.
Oh, so you're straining trying to hear.
Yeah, like, so I'm like, damn, Tyler, what are you saying? Like, I read what you saying, but it don't sound like you saying it, dog. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, so I guess he really trying to promote the instruments on here. And the next thing you know, he dropped the deluxe Cherry Bomb, and now all instrumental. So I'm like, damn, bro, like, I don't know. I guess he tried. He did what he wanted to do on this.
I think mostly for me, the work just didn't. Besides number 5, I know number 10 was okay too.
It's the track pool for me. I feel like 14 tracks out of here. If I would have pulled 6 tracks out of 14, it would have been a great album to me. But I pulled 2 tracks out of 14. I can't classify that on my personal scale to be a great album. So Cherry Bomb is a big negative. Mm-mm. Negative for me.
The work, just the content didn't appeal to me.
The content didn't appeal, but going back to what you say, the work, I want to say it's the work that appealed to me. The behind the scenes.
The production is always on point.
Dead ass.
The one thing Tyler will never, at least I feel, that production will always be on point. Even if you don't fuck with the lyrics, you fuck with that beat.
Exactly. And it's like how we portrayed in the beginning of this episode, Queens and Kings. It's like, as much as I want to drag this album, as much as that curve is there at the tip of my tongue, I can't, just because our theory behind this album is the middle child. It is dead smack in between greatness and in front of greatness. And like, damn, okay, Tyler, like, I can't be mad at that one album out of a lot of body of work that you just like, oh, that album, yeah, I listened to it, but
it ain't my favorite.
You feel me? That's it.
I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite.
It ain't like us saying fuck our future. Like, no, we there.
Because at the end of the day, if the song would play or if the beat would play, I bop. But other than that, the work is fine. It's just it doesn't stand out. There we go. It just doesn't stand out.
No. But if you wanna listen to it just for the instrumental and see the creative work behind Tyler's production, then I would recommend Cherry Bomb on a level of go to his deluxe album and listen to just the instruments of this album alone, and you'll enjoy it. I feel like if I do that, which I probably will out of my own mindset, like the way I do things, but I'll go back and check it out and just listen to the instruments. And I feel like it'll put you in a whole melodic place like Flower Boy and Igor did. But that was the evolution of Tyler the Creator. This was part 3, our special episode to where we dove into our first artist album review. Not even getting into details, but brief. A lot of changes coming.
Yes.
A lot of changes gonna come for the better. We're not leaving. We're just getting started.
For sure.
And this is not deconstruction, but we're gonna dial it. Yeah,
this is our evolution.
We about to do something. So this series of ours, it didn't just sprout out of nowhere. We going through an evolution, Queens and Kings. So get ready and look forward to more of this greatness.
Yes.
You got anything to leave them with, Bianna?
Keep hope alive, keep them dreams alive, and stay your ass lit.
There we go. Well, Queens and Kings, as you heard it here, that was Bianna and holy smack, what is that?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up. Well, we hope to see you guys next time on The Vibes, a new wave.